Hello? Mic check. Mic check. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Figment Industries Garage. I'm Sean B.F on Instagram, and today we're going to be taking a look at a Konig wheel that's new for 2020, and then we're going to go over what makes it so special and how it could actually increase the performance of your vehicle. But before we dive into the details, make sure you're subscribed to this channel because we cover a bunch of technical stuff and get early access to a ton of new products, and you're not going to know about it first if you're not getting notifications. And of course, don't forget to head over to figmentindustries.com for all of your wheel, tire, and suspension needs. Let's get started. This is the Konig Hexaform. The Konig Hexaform is a brand new 6-spoke design for 2020 that actually comes in 2 different spoke profile configurations. First, you're gonna have the 8 profile, which designates a more convex spoke profile. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, damn, if concave spoke profiles are all the rage, why even have a convex design in the first place? And well, that's for big brake clearance. Essentially what this does is it pushes the innermost portion of the spokes further away from the back pad of the wheel, because at the end of the day, 90% of brake clearance issues happen towards that back portion of the back pad versus in the middle or the upper portion of the spoke design. However, today we're going to be looking at the B profile, which is the concave spoke design version of the Konig Hexaform. And good God, is this thing hot. I've always enjoyed the Hexaform, but this concave profile really takes it to the next level. Anyway, let's start with the PCD area. PCD is pitch circle diameter, which is just the diameter of how the bolt holes are configured. On this B profile, the actual depth of this area is much smaller than you're going to find on that A profile where the spokes are out further. And then moving outward, you can already see the concavity of how the spoke design is at an angle as it works out to the lip. Now, the spoke design itself being a 6-spoke configuration is kind of, and for lack of a better term here, I mean no offense by this, but kind of basic. But I really like what they did with it, having the addition of the webbing in the windows here. And how the webbing actually flows up and into the barrel so that you only have the webbing in the V and not quite all the way through here. Now, I think that webbing is a very, very nice touch, but probably one of my favorite design elements on this entire wheel is how the face design itself actually protrudes from the step lip a little bit. It might be hard to see it from way back there, but around the entire face is an additional lip, and this is going to help give you a little bit more of that caliper clearance. And then with that, the way the light works within this area to highlight the face itself and then make the lip appear to be kind of a separate piece is an awesome way to work in some attention to detail to this design without overcomplicating things. From here, you're met with a step lip that appears to be a bit deeper than the A profile, even though I'm pretty sure they're the same exact depth. Again, with how this entire design ties together, a totally new look is very impressive. And then obviously you have the debossed Konig logo and the Flowform designation on here as well. So that's right, guys, these bad boys are Flowform. You know what that means? That means that this 18 by 10.5 plus 18 wheel weighs just over 19.5 pounds, which is pretty damn impressive. Moving on to the outer rim of the wheel, you're gonna see another tiny little lip. Again, with how this draws out a small dark shadow around the very outside of the wheel, just like they did around the face of the wheel, it just adds so much depth to the overall design in such a tasteful way. Seriously, kudos to whoever implemented this. And then going all the way back into that classic Konig center cap. And this one actually has hardware that holds it on the wheel, which is a pretty smart design in my opinion, because that means when you thrash these things on the track or you inevitably hit that big pothole, these things aren't gonna go anywhere. They're gonna stay on the wheel, they're not gonna pop off and get lost. Sizing is available in 15 by 7.5 and 15 by 8, 17 by 8, 9, and then 9.5. And then the 18s are gonna be available in 8.5 widths through 10.5 inch widths, hitting each half increment in between, with the B profile being the 18 by 10 and 18 by 10.5 only. Bolt pattern offerings here hit 4 by 100 for the 15 and 17 inch diameters, 4 by 108 for the 17 inch diameters, 5 by 100 in your 17 and 18 inch diameters with 8 and 9 inch widths. 5 by 108 is going to be 18 by 8.5 only. 5 by 112 is available in 17 by 8 and then 18 by 8.5. 5 by 114.3 is available in the 17 and 18 inch diameters, and then 5 by 120 is going to be the 18 inch diameter only, with the 114 and 120s being the only ones with the larger width B profiles available. 2 finishes are available here, matte black and matte bronze, but I would like to mention that this is a super nice matte finish. Most matte finishes that I see at this price point are usually pretty rough, and then those are kind of hard to clean. These, however, are very smooth and they're almost a bit more of a dull satin. I really dig this finish. It's really nice. Speaking of price, these things start at just $616 for a full set of 15 by 7.5. 17s start under $850, and then the 18s start at just $1,000. And the biggest 10-inch wide concave profiles max out at just $1,068 for a flow-formed, lightweight, really cleanly designed wheel. That's a really good value. But that's about gonna wrap it up with this Hexaform. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at this thing as much as I did, but please, let me know what you think about it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and head over to fitmentindustries.com to browse our wheel, tire, and suspension emporium. I'm Sean from Fitment Industries, Sean B.FI on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.